Hey, hi. What are you doing? What are you doing with that? How about we just stop and take a moment? Yeah, take a moment. Whatever you're doing, just stop for a moment. Whatever you're carrying, just put it down for a second. And take a look. Take a look at your feet. When was the last time you were present? When was the last time that I was present? Yeah, and it's been a minute. I would imagine it's been a minute. I'm just a little drawn. Actually, I'm not a little drawn. I'm drawn. Period. I almost constantly feel the need and just so vital to have prayer in my life. And I'm a prayer oldie but goodie. Yeah, I'm a praying oldie but goodie. And it goes a little something like this. You might know this one. It goes, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And sometimes we hear some people say, Thy will, not mine, be done. Some people say, sometimes you just got to rock and amen. And in my life of recent, I like to say, May your will and mine be one. And what a powerful prayer. Like often we hear that prayer circling around, maybe some 12-step fellowships or in a rehab facility. Usually that prayer is on the wall. And how practical of a prayer that is, that we all can apply that prayer to every situation of our life. And welcome. Welcome to episode 9 of The Vision Inside. If you are just joining us, welcome. If number 9, if someone's decided, like, you know what, I'm going to share this one with you. I'm going to share episode 9 with you. I haven't heard it before. I want to share it with you. Let's listen together. If this is your your ninth calling to sit yet again, to have a seat, sit down, play this at loud volumes, so the person in the next room who is sitting there with their ear to the wall, who's still sitting with a little bit of fear, who's just not ready to come outside and say, can I sit and listen with you? Right? If you're returning and you are a part of the Vision movement, welcome back. Welcome back. I am stoked that you are here. I don't know about you, but I've done for so long, right? Like decades of my life, to be apart from. When really deep down inside, I just wanted to be a part of. And I'm here to let you know that you are invited. There is a seat here for you. There is a safe space here for you to come and listen and to take something away, right? I hope and I pray that every podcast that I have done from episode 1, that there is something from each one that you can take away and start practicing in your life, right? That you have found a post-it note. You too have found a post-it note to put up on that whiteboard, and eventually find that spaghetti noodle that fits, right? The one that sticks to the wall, and you get that moment. Yeah, the moment of becoming childlike and absolutely dependent on someone else's point of view from a different side of the room, and you get to throw that wadded up, wet ball of toilet paper up on the roof. I hope and I pray that you have a moment like that with every single podcast. It's a beautiful journey. So this thing, right? This serenity prayer, like, oh my God, it's just for alcoholics and drug addicts and people who really need help. Well, I'm here to squash that notion. Yeah, like it's not just for alcoholics and drug addicts and people who need religion or any kind of preconceived notion, right? How about that? Because trust me, I had them too. I had many preconceived notions of what I thought that prayer meant. Like, why does it have to start with God? And God is so punishing, and why does God allow bad things to happen in the world, and all these things that questions that I don't have answers to, um, questions that people might have answers to, but what they really have is opinions. Yeah, what they really have is opinions. And really, I truly don't know. Um, I guess I truly don't know if there is a God. Yeah, I will tell you, I'm not willing to believe that there isn't. I am not willing to operate in a manner that portrays that there is no God. I believe in a higher power. I believe in a God of my understanding. And again, just for today, I choose to not misunderstand. I want to understand God as I understand God. God lives in the ocean. It lives in every single plant cell. It lives in my body. It lives everywhere. I'm just not willing to believe that God isn't real. Uh, what a trip. So, you guys will find that if you haven't figured that out about me already. Sometimes I go off on tangents, and then I forget where I was. And because the nature of podcasting, I could go back and edit. I really could. Um, However, I sit in a pod, a circle, a God squad, the fate circle. I sit in that kind of circle where there's no deleting, right? There's no going back. There's no editing. This is just raw and uncut. Yeah. I love that, right? And I'm sitting here in my patio, talking into a microphone. There is no cue cards. There is no one standing over there giving me any kind of signs or bullet points on what I need to talk about. Everything that comes out of my mouth tonight is the outcome of prayer before me pressing that button. And so it just came, right. I was sitting here, and I had this yearning to launch episode 9, and I just had no idea what I was going to sit here and talk about. And who would have thought? Yeah. I looked down, and I have so many notes. Like, I have notes all over the place on my table, in pieces of literature, on 3x5 cards. And I looked down, and there it is. Yeah, it's that good old serenity prayer. Um, and so I wanted to just unpack that. And maybe, hopefully, there is something that you can take away from this tonight, and apply in your life. So the the first word in the serenity prayer is God. Yeah, it is not Delori. And I don't know about you, but that's already a blow to my pride. Yeah, that tells me that I am not that power. I am not the power. I will never be the power. I will never be the healer. I will never be the light. However, I get to be. I get to be. Yeah, I get to be the vessel. I get to be the lantern that holds the light. I get to be the hands that deliver the message from the healer. And I get to be part of that journey. I am not the journey. I get to be a part of the journey. Because again, for a big part of my life, I did things and I said things that always set me apart from. And deep down inside, there was a deep yearning to be a part of. I just didn't know how to be a part of. So again, welcome. Welcome. There is a seat for you at this table. There is always a seat with your name on it. And I hope to keep cultivating and nurturing that safe space for someone to hear the message. So, okay, so now that I've deciphered, and maybe you have deciphered for yourself too, that I am not God. And spoiler alert, you are not God either. And no matter how many times I can sit here and say, "Oh, I know I'm not God. I know I'm not God. I know I'm not perfect," and blah blah blah, and all these things that justify excuses, uh, for me to act a certain way, or for me to continue with bad behavior. Um, it's the, do I even believe what I just said? Right? Do do my actions and my behaviors support the fact that I am not God? Oh, hmm. There's a whole nother layer of the onion to unpack, right? To become aware of, to acknowledge in my life, and to accept in my life that I am not God. But my actions and my behaviors say something totally different. Well, what does that look like, Dee? Like, what does that look like for you? It looks like micromanaging at work. It looks like fear mongering at home. Fear mongering at home. Yeah, ruling the house with fear, dominance, anger. That's what that looks like for me. Yeah, I say one thing and my actions say something totally different. Oh, what is that called again? Hypocritical. Yeah, so if I say I'm not God, then perhaps I should start acting that way. Yeah, maybe I should start acting like my own name. And I have many different titles. Yeah, I have many different titles. First and foremost, I am a child of God. Oh, I gone said it out loud. I am a child of God. And it has taken many years. Oh, about five. About five. The last 5 years of my life to come to a place of willingness to believe that God believes in me, that I believe that I am a child of God and I'm chosen. I'm chosen for a greater purpose today. And I'm really grateful to continue to be chosen by the Most High. So I believe today that I am not God. And thank you, God, that I'm not. Right? Can you just imagine? And you know, that just entertain some imagination here for a minute. Can you imagine actually being God and listening to thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of petitions, prayers, prayers of healing, just all of them, all of them, and having to carry the burden and the weight of millions and millions and millions of people, not sleeping, always having to watch, being in control of blessings and abundant life and welcoming people, you know, like can you really just imagine being in charge of all of that every day? Now, here and just be real here for a second. For a really long time and still sometimes today, currently, when I think about being God or playing God, my first thought is not of love. My first thought is not of compassion and mercy and grace. Sometimes, uh, throwing a harpoon at certain parts of people's body, that thought is entertained. Yeah, like my first thought is not one of love. Sometimes my first thought is one of anger and malice and justified rage. Huh. That's a real deal right there. That's putting my vulnerability, excuse me, my vulnerability right on the table. Yeah, that opens the door for critique and scrutiny and oh my God, I can't believe she said that and doesn't she realize who's listening? No, I don't realize who's listening. I care, but I really don't care who critiques me or criticizes me or who thinks I should say certain things and and I really don't. I don't care, but respectfully, I care. I do my best to just not filter. I'm just here to speak what I've been led to talk about, and I'm not gonna apologize for being chosen to do something like this. I do. I actually enjoy being part of the minority opinion. Yeah, I enjoy being a rebel and saying the things that nobody wants to say and calling people out where you just don't want to be. Um, and maybe the word enjoy wasn't the correct word for that either. Uh, I I don't particularly enjoy that. Um, what I do understand is that I do have a calling in this world, and sometimes it's to shine light on places that are really really dark, and not just shining the light on them, but sticking out my hand and letting you know that it's okay, yeah, or letting you know that I'm sorry. I'm sorry you had to walk through those things. If no one's ever told you that they were sorry, or if you ever heard those words, I'm really sorry you had to walk through that from a place of compassion, love, mercy, and healing. I'm really sorry. And again, just know that you're always invited here. There's always a place for you to come and sit and be in a safe space. So, tangent, right? I go off on tangents, and I mean, I don't necessarily forget what I was talking about, but I segue from the segue from the segue from the intersection of the segue. So, uh, grant me the serenity. Yeah, grant me the serenity. So we've deciphered. We have deciphered the simple fact that I am not God, you are not God, we are not the light. We are just vessels of that light. We are the carriers of the light. Okay, grant me the serenity. I don't know about you, but that's a petition. I am asking, right? I am asking God, the higher power, the spirit of the universe, whatever that is for you today, fill in the blank, right? I am petitioning. I'm asking for something. I'm asking for serenity. I'm asking for peace of mind. I'm asking for a sober thought. I'm asking for sane thinking. Why? Why am I asking for that? If I'm praying a prayer, you guys, if I'm asking for anything through the vehicle of prayer, I'm probably in an interesting space. Yeah, I'm probably in a very interesting space. I'm either about to go and give a big talk. I'm about to have a really hard conversation with someone. I'm about to step my feet in the water, in the ocean, and putting myself in waves of consequence. I am petitioning. Yeah, I'm asking for something. God grant me the serenity. Why? Why do I need serenity? And I get to, right? Yet again, I sit in the tension of an unanswered question. Why do I need serenity? Well, because I'm feeling a certain type of way. I'm anxious. I'm fearful. I'm worried. Yeah. I'm about to do something that I've never done. I'm about to receive a promotion that I didn't think I was qualified for. Right? I'm about to receive recognition for something that I never expected. Yeah, and sometimes you guys, like if you're anything like me, uh I the fear of success is much greater than the fear of failure, because I can handle failure. I can. It's that fear of success, right? It's the fear of the platform, it's the fear of the limelight that scares me more, because it again, if you were brought up in any certain type of way that I was, we didn't have much. Yeah, we didn't have much. It was always coming out from under. It was always making ends meet. It was always turning, you know, that that bag of surplus food, yeah, into something magical. And so the fear of failure really wasn't a thing. It was the fear of success and not sabotaging that success, because deep down inside of me, I just don't feel like I deserve it. It goes back to that part that just for today, I believe. I believe that I am a child of God. I believe that I've been chosen for a greater purpose. I believe that I have been given this kuliana, yeah, responsibility to shine light in dark places. And not just shine the light in dark places. And I don't mean to sound redundant. Not just shine the light, but again to stick my hand out and to offer a way out. If I have had that experience, to offer a way out. So I realize that I need serenity because I'm feeling a certain type of way. And I don't know what that certain type of way is for you. Right? Maybe it's the dark thoughts. The ones that I just hate myself. I just hate myself. I hate my job. I hate everyone. But I show up anyway because that job puts food on my table. Yeah, I suck it up and I don't say what I mean because I don't want to rock the boat. Because if I rock the boat, then you won't like me. Well, I mean, let's just be real. You probably already don't like me. Not because of something that I did, but probably because you just don't like yourself. And you are yet again a mirror of me. And if I don't like me and you don't like me, well, then we both don't like each other. And it's just a shitty deal. Like, what a ripple effect to sit in. And so I sit here and sometimes I gotta acknowledge those things. And the first action, right? The very first action I take breaks the cycle of overthinking. It breaks the monotony of staying stuck, of sitting in sloth. And it starts the momentum, right? It starts my feet moving. It starts my eyes to open. It starts my hand to grab that pen and to start putting it to paper. So it's like, okay, first and foremost, I need help. And then I realize why I need help. Yeah. So God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Oh man. Accept the things I cannot change. What are those things? Right? Maybe it's a people, maybe it's a person. Yeah, and so I like to add in a couple of things to that, right? We got to add some pepper and salt and a little bit of cumin sometimes. Yeah, some paprika, some chili pepper water. Accept the people, places, things, institutions, text messages, emails, verbal and nonverbal cues. That's a lot. That's really a lot. That's kind of like everything. Grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And the things I cannot change, I don't know about you guys, but the things I cannot change is everything. Oh, that sucks. Because it's backed up by the simple fact, yet again, that I am not God. And if I have believed, if I have come into acceptance and believe that I am not God, then the things I cannot change is everything. So I cannot change you lipping off at me. I cannot change the way you show up in my life, because sometimes you show up maladjusted. Now let's just be real about it. Sometimes I show up maladjusted. I show up defective, right? I wake up on the wrong side of the bed, yeah, and I'm irritated and I'm angry and I'm hangry and I didn't sleep well and all these things, and I'm lonely and I'm tired and I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. Yeah. And I show up maladjusted. And I don't get to choose how you show up in my life. Right? I don't get to choose. What I do get to choose is to change the things that I can. Yeah. So when I've acknowledged that I need to, and it's a need, it's such a harsh and absolute word. I need to change the things that I can change. which is, guess what, Vision Movement? Me. It's me. Oh my gosh. It's me that I can change, not you or anything else in this world. It is me. Yeah, and I heard this amazing one-liner, and it has become a part of my spiritual practice, right? That these principles, right? Any of the principles that you've decided to adopt in the 8 episodes and now 9 episodes of the Vision Inside, if there have been any principles, right? So we practice these principles in all of our affairs. And if I cannot practice these principles in all of my affairs, perhaps I should change my affairs. And what are my affairs? Right? These are the things that I am involved in. Perhaps I should change those. Right? I perhaps I should change the way I behave in my family. Maybe the way that I think in my job. And instead of being such a taker, because I'm so self-absorbed and self-centered, maybe I should start giving. Maybe I should start offering to help somebody instead of always helping myself. Yeah? So there's so much more to unpack with that. You know, that being so consumed with self and so self-absorbed, and what am I going to get, and is it 5 o'clock yet, and all these things, right? That maybe just turning my feet just a little bit to the left this time instead of turning them to the right. You know, and just seeing what I can contribute instead of what I can take. And setting aside that entitlement. Oh, but you didn't do that for me, so why should I do it for you? Yeah, that setting aside that mentality where I'm going to help you without expectation of you helping me ever. Yeah, and just doing it anyway. Because deep down inside of me, and I highly suspect that if you're listening, if you sat here and you've listened this long, that deep down inside of me, there's a lack of self-esteem. Oh man, that is so cheesy. Like, why you got to talk about self-esteem? Because it's true. It's true. It has been true for me. And again, if you're still listening, I highly suspect that it is true for you too. That deep down inside of you, there is a lack of self-esteem. And in order for me to build self-esteem, guess what? I got to do esteemable acts. Doing something nice for somebody else and not telling them. That is a great form of humility. Not expecting anything in return, not talking about it, not even giving a hint about it. Just do them. Yeah? Like knowing what is someone's favorite fruit. Like knowing so-and-so loves blueberries, and you go to the store and you find the crate with the fattest blueberries, and you leave them in the fridge with a little note. Hey, just thinking about you. I hope you enjoy the blueberries. Have a great day. Like, what? Who does those things? I'll tell you who does those things. People like you and I who desire change, right? I desire change because I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being so angry that the fear of the unknown has finally outweighed the things that I have. And I gotta want to change. And I'm not going to want to change until the fear of the unknown supersedes what I have. So, the courage to change the things that I can, right? What can I change? I can change my mentality through right action. I can change my behavior through right thought, through consistent right action. I can do that. And there's a gift. There's a gift with that, right? The outcome of consistent right action is gratitude. Oh, what? I'm going to say that again for the person listening on the other side of the wall. The one who doesn't want to come out because they're too afraid to say, I want to listen. Gratitude is the outcome of consistent right action. And you might have heard it somewhere in the world that gratitude is an action word. And I believe that. Yeah. So if I do consistent right action, my disposition is grateful. And a side effect or a bonus of being grateful is having great self esteem. And having great self esteem leads to confidence. And confidence is the opposite of pride. Huh. Imagine that. Yeah. Confidence is the opposite of pride. Where pride, by dictionary definition, right? And I might like chop it up a little bit because I'm not that smart and I always need help. Pride is self, right? Pride is one person. It is my ego. It is just me. And it's that the God-given instinct that I often abuse. I abuse my pride a lot. And a lot of the times, not lately, but I do. I abuse my pride, and I often find myself saying, "I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I stepped on your toes. I'm really sorry. I gave you a task to do, and micromanaged you on how to do the task." Yeah, I'm sure none of you have done that before. Yeah. Anyway, that was, that was a little sarcasm. Um, and having I'm segue from the segue, pride, right? Sorry about that miscue. Pride and confidence being the opposite, and confidence requires two. It requires me and another. It requires you and another person, entity, power, right? It requires me to have trust, complete trust in someone or something else. That's confidence. Oh my gosh, I had to like really dig into the root word of that too. And the root, right? The prefix co, uh it implies and it indicates that I need to have another. And so with enough confidence and self-esteem, the leveling of pride, awareness, acknowledging and accepting who and what I am, I take that leap of faith to have the courage to change the things that I can, which is me. And the most well, it's not the most powerful. The whole prayer is powerful, but the wisdom, right? The wisdom to know the difference. And for me, it always starts with that position of power. It always starts with knowing my place in this world and where I stand with respect to the God of my understanding. And I don't sit above or below the God of my understanding because God resides inside of me. God is everything for me. At least 6.95 days out of the week. God is everything. God lives in everything. God lives inside of me. And don't let's not get it twisted, right? Like I am not God. I am just the vessel. I am the channel. I am the hollowed out bamboo that the water, yeah. The water, the gift of life gets poured through me. And I get to be that channel for other people. And sometimes, yeah, sometimes being the channel sucks. Sometimes shining the truth, shining the light, right? The light of truth into those dark areas of people's lives sucks. Yeah, no one ever wants to be the bearer of truth. I mean, come on, really, really. Do you really want to tell somebody that their breath stinks? Yeah, like real practical kind stuff. Do you really want to tell that person who who left the shopping cart in the parking stall? Right? Put Could you put your shopping cart away? Or here's even the the principle, right? The principle, always taking the high road. just putting the shopping cart away, right? Because again, I don't get to choose how you show up in my life. Whether or not I know you, I don't show up. I don't get to choose if you show up in maladjustment. I really don't. What I do get to choose is how I change me. And again, I gotta want to change me for me. Because if I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired of being broken and unmanageable, then I gotta want to apply some kind of change in my life. And like not just apply it for like 2 days. Yeah, like I I pick one thing. I pick that one spaghetti noodle that's stuck. The one revelation of the the wet toilet paper ball that I got to stick to the roof and become absolutely childlike. I take that one principle and I practice it for a solid 2 weeks every day in all of my affairs. Every day in all of my affairs. And if that requires me to sit in my prayer closet, well, I actually stand in my prayer closet. My prayer closet is my yard. And I go out in my yard every day bare feet, whether it's raining. Okay, maybe not always when it's raining, but I have done it when it's raining. Every day, every day, I put my feet in the grass, and and I ask God to give me the courage and guide me in whatever I'm supposed to do today. And you know what? If that word God scares you, then that's okay too. Yeah, because the tree that is growing, the sun that is shining, the wind that blows across your face, those are all things that are power. That's a power greater than yourself. And it's okay to not use the word God. It's okay to not say it. Because there's a deep yearning inside of you, much like there's a deep yearning inside of me, um, to feel and give love. Yeah, to feel and give compassion. There is, there is. There, I truly believe that deep down inside of you, as well as me, is that deep yearning to be a part of. You know, to be a part of. Ah, that was a wild one. That was a wild one to unpack that serenity prayer. And there's so much more we could talk about. You know, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna sit, and also resonate in some of the things that I got to share tonight. And yeah, once again, I'd like to thank you for sitting and joining me from the patio. And we're gonna call it a wrap. That is episode 9 of the Vision Inside. And I'd like to wish you all a great evening, the rest of your day, morning, whatever time.